All right, here we go with the Immigration Answers Show, special Saturday edition. I was just at work getting ready to go home, and I thought I'd hop on before I did, see if anybody had any questions. Looks like we have a few people in the waiting room to ask me a question. If you have a question, you might want to go over to streamyard.com/FMAXNHM6P. Looks like we have a few people in there, so I'm going to go ahead and say hello. Let's go over to Sean first. Sean, are you with us? Sean, my man. Come on screen and ask your question, Sean. Yep, you got to come on screen, Sean. I'm going to put you on pause. If you want to ask a question, you got to come on screen. I will put you back in the waiting room. And how about Mr. Lee? Mr. Lee, are you there? All right, so with this show, we go on camera to ask the question. So if you want to come on camera and ask your question, that'd be great. No, don't write it. Just come on screen. This isn't going so well. I should probably just do this when it's scheduled at the right time. So this isn't like the webinar where I just answer the questions on text. I'd rather, it's more exciting, more enjoyable when we have people on camera. Well, there he is. You are on mute, so I think you have to unmute yourself and then we can get rolling.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Great, what can I help you with?
About the proclamations, if Trump, is not the president anymore in December, and what will happen if for the relative petitions? I mean, to petition for parents or spouse or something if he is not president anymore at this time. It's not clear, right? Because he's still fighting in court. But after December, what happened?
That's a great question, and I just went ahead and made a video about that that'll drop, I think, later next week, but I'll answer the question right now. So the proclamations are all supposed to end on December 31st. Trump will be in office for 20 days after that. So I expect that he will extend those another 20 days just because he's a mean son of a bitch. And so I think that Joe Biden will sign a presidential proclamation or an executive order as soon as he takes office on January 20th. That's what he's promised to do. And so I think that that'll go away no later than January 20th. So if you're, like, let's say if you're a green card holder and your spouse has been stuck overseas, or your children, or if you're a US citizen and your brother or your mother has been stuck overseas, then you're going to be able to get that case moving again. Of course, the cases should have been processing all along unless they were at the embassy stage. The proclamation only prohibited the embassies from actually giving the visas. So if you were that close, and if your embassy is reopened, then the visa should be issued as soon as things sort of get back into operations. I imagine that we're going to be suing them some more to get people to sort of the front of the line, because once these embassies open back up, there's going to be a backlog just because they've been closed for so long, if that makes sense. All right, great. Thanks for being here. Yep, we'll see you next time. All right, let's go over to Kader. Kader?
How are you, sir? How are you, Mr. Jim?
How are you? How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good. Thank you, sir. Yeah, actually, my mom is your client, and she's sponsoring my brother overseas in Morocco.
Okay. Yep.
So the issue is they ask for a proof of domicile because my mom, she spent most of time in Morocco overseas because my dad health problem. So after that, she came back and she gave us, she gave them so many documents like tax return, like lease, so many things, like credit cards, bank statement, everything. So after that, we didn't hear any update, just like the date showing like update, every month we get some update on the case. It shows like it's refused. So,
So seeing refused on the screen can be upsetting and make you worried, but it's not fatal. It doesn't mean the case is over. It just means that back in February and March, because they were getting sued so often, they just marked everything to refuse so they could say to the judges, hey, this case has been refused. But that in and of itself doesn't mean anything. What evidence did your mom submit of her domicile, and when was the last time she was in the United States?
right now she's in Morocco right now because of my dad, health problem. He's gonna have surgery tomorrow. He has like like health problem. So she's gonna I think like 3 months. She left the country like 3 months right now because
Okay.
of my dad health problem. So
Is your dad in the United States?
no, he's in Morocco now. He's overseas.
So mom's overseas now, or mom's in America?
In overseas right now.
Okay, but does she like have a house and or an apartment in America, or does she have bank accounts?
She's just leasing.
But is it an actual lease, or is it like a family member?
It's like leasing, like in a house, and she has we submit like tax return of 2019, also like bank statement, credit card, and I don't know if that's enough or I have to give more proof. And I
It should
submit
be.
also the healthcare, like like the insurance, card, like.
They usually don't ask for that much stuff. They just want sort of like a good faith effort and just a little bit of evidence that she's either going to live at home, go back to America and live there, or that she has been living there. So if she just came back for the last 3 months, that should be fine.
Okay, so and actually right now when she left, we changed like her mailing address. You're not gonna affect, like proof of domicile, the mail address to the post office, like PO box.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. You shouldn't have done that.
Really?
No, nobody lives at a PO box.
So that's just the mailing address.
If you have but if you have a question about domicile, you don't want to start moving around and thereby bringing more attention to the fact that you've moved and that your condition is sort of temporary. Okay.
Actually, she's your client. You're taking care of the case, so that's why I want to make yeah.
Well, good luck to your father tomorrow with his surgery. Okay, Kader.
Yeah, he's gonna have it tomorrow. I hope he will be fine tomorrow. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Jim.
See you, bud.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, I think we have Sean back with us. Sean, are you here? Sean sort of is back. Let's see. Sean, we'll come back to you. Let's go to Fadi. Fadi, are you with us? Oh, there's Fadi.
Hi, Jim.
Hi,
How
Fadi.
are you doing?
I'm doing great.
My question is about the extra form that is supposed to be signed with the Affidavit of Support if you want to sponsor your family. Is that going to be canceled? Have you heard anything?
Yeah, I did a blog post. It hasn't posted yet, but that form that you're referring to is the I-944. The I-944 is the petition of self-sufficiency. And last week, right before the election, a judge in Chicago struck it down, but then the government appealed, and the court above it put it back in place. But the thing with the Joe Biden says he's going to do away with the public charge. Now, there are some things, like we were just talking with Mr. Lee about the travel ban, Biden can undo on the very first day. But the public charge is one of those things that actually went through what's called the notice and comment procedure. So whenever an agency like Homeland Security or Immigration wants to change an actual rule, not just a presidential proclamation, but an actual rule, they have to publish the rule, and they have to let the public comment. And that took Trump, like 8 months or 9 months to do. So it's going to take a while to undo it. But the thing I've been thinking about, and I'm trying to remember from when Obama became president, is that I think that what Biden could do is tell the Department of Justice to stop appealing any decisions by lower courts saying that it's invalid, if that makes sense. So that would be like a faster way. So if a judge, like the judge in Chicago had said, I'm canceling this, then Biden could have the Department of Justice not appeal that, and then it's just sort of dead and nobody's sort of reviving it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. If that happens, do you think the government might come after some applicants and say, well, this never was filed, we're going to dismiss the case right after it's already in process?
I wouldn't put anything past them as far as being mean for the next 2 months, but things are going to start going back to normal. I doubt they're going to do that, but they might on like a case-by-case basis. I don't think you'll see it widespread, but you could.
All right. So probably the best thing to do is just wait until it's a little bit more concrete and just file a new case then.
I would agree.
Okay.
If you haven't filed already, I'd wait a little bit to let things settle down.
Sounds good. All right.
All right,
Thank
Fadi.
you so much, Dave.
See you,
Bye-bye.
buddy. Okay, bye. All right, next we're going to go over to John. John, how are you?
Hey, doing well. How are you doing?
Great. Where in the world are you right now?
I'm over in Michigan.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yep.
My sister just bought a house up in Holland.
Oh yeah, it's a nice area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, I-751's the petition to remove the conditions on the green card. Are those ever denied? And if they are, is there any recourse to it?
Oh, that's a great question, John. So just so I can fill in everybody who's watching, if you get married to a U.S. citizen, you get a green card on that basis, and you've been married less than 2 years when the green card is issued, at the end of the 2 years, you have to file what's called an I-751. And the I-751 requires you to submit a bunch of new evidence, updated evidence, to show that the marriage was and is still valid. So in that scenario, usually the U.S. citizen and the green card holder will sign the 751 together, and then they'll submit a bunch of evidence showing that the marriage is still ongoing. Now, John, you're wondering, are those ever denied? And the answer to that is, of course, those are sometimes denied. When those are denied, usually you end up in immigration court, and the immigration judge can decide whether or not you get the petition to get the conditions removed from your 10-year green card. You could also file another 751. We've done that before and gotten it approved. So my question would be, if you don't mind saying, like, what are you worried about, or what's the 751 part that you're worried about not getting approved?
Just wondering, like in a hypothetical situation, like say if like not enough evidence was submitted and they send an RFE, like do they ever send a follow-up if they weren't satisfied with what you sent them back, or does it go straight to what you said, immigration court?
So John's asking about request for evidence. So if they feel the case is sort of a close call and there's not enough evidence and they ask for a request for evidence, they could do a site visit. They could do an interview. I mean, we've been seeing interviews on most 751s. So if you file the 751 and you got an RFE, you want to overwhelm them with evidence. And if you didn't overwhelm them with evidence and you get called in for an interview, then you want to overwhelm them with evidence. So that can be, I mean, we have a whole list of documents and stuff that we use of evidence of marriage, but you're talking about, purchases together, home situation like a lease or property, anything like that, right? So, and then, bank account, you want to show that you're using your money together, all that stuff. So you really, it's volume, but it's also quality. So you might want to get some affidavits of people who know you. If the couple's lived apart, or if there's other problems, then you're probably going to need even more evidence. And the one thing I would say, John, is I probably talk about 751s more than anything else other than lawsuits on our videos. So look on our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of stuff on there on 751s.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that pretty much covers what I was wondering about.
Did you have another question, or no? You're good?
Yep, I'm good. Yep.
Buddy, thanks for dialing in. See you, John.
Yep, for sure.
All right. Sean. Sean is back. There he is.
Oh. Hey Jim, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can. Where are you in the world?
Oh yeah, so I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Great. What can I help you with?
Yeah, so I have a question about so my current situation is that I'm currently on STEM OPT and
Okay.
I'm going through adjustment of status through marriage to a US citizen.
Great. Sounds good.
And so I'm wondering right now I'm considering because of the current immigration climate, I've been thinking if I should get a H-1B visa or extend my F1 status just in case that my case takes too long and something bad happens, maybe like a denial or something, because anything can happen. I'm just been worrying about like to have like so that I can have a status to fall back on, basically. And we've submitted our application in June this year, and my STEM OPT expires next year in September. So if my case is adjudicated and like decided after that, and if anything bad happens, I'm just worried that they will put me into the court and then you know things like that. So my question is am I allowed to apply for a new F1 program? Because now I have applied for adjustment status and demonstrated a intent of immigration.
So these are all great questions, Sean. And I would say that first of all, I'm a big believer in taking every immigration benefit that you can. So if the law allows you to get more than one benefit, I'm a big believer in that. But in this scenario, I think your green card case is going to be finished well before your STEM OPT is over. I also think most marriage cases are approved. And I would say especially most marriage cases are approved when the person is coming out of F1 into adjustment of status. Those are usually scenarios that are pretty stable. The relationships usually started in college and they're very believable and understandable. So unless you really screw up the case, I think your case is going to be approved. Okay. So I don't think you need to be worried about what you're worrying about. I think you should just be focusing on making your case better.
Right.
And then getting ready for your interview. But I think the chances of you needing to do anything else F1 wise are very, very small. I do think that if for whatever reason, as long as it's not fraud, that your case was denied and you wanted to go back to graduate school and maybe get a PhD or something, you go back to F1, as long as you stayed in the United States and just got an updated I-20, I think you'd be fine.
I see. Great. Thank you. That's
Welcome.
that
Yeah, so
definitely
either
helps.
way, I think you're going to be fine, and I don't think you need to worry, and I think that everything's going to be okay.
Got it. And since you mentioned like to about how to build my case, make it stronger, so we definitely front loaded our um, for 485, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
The
we
marriage.
submitted as much evidence as possible, and also since we submitted after February, we also included the form for public charge. And one thing we had, like one problem we have right now is we had a co-sponsor, and he lost his job because of the pandemic, obviously, but he was the co-sponsor on our form 864. So I'm just wondering, since now we're still in the waiting game, do I have to update them anything about our current financial situation? Like, do I have to find a new sponsor immediately, or should I just keep, like, as long as I make sure before the interview I can get this taken care of, and that will be fine?
The officer won't. I mean, I don't think there's really a way for you to notify them of the fact that you're going to use a different co-sponsor. I think your only option is going to be able to bring it to the interview, but you're going to need a new I-64, new tax returns and W-2s for that co-sponsor if that person stays unemployed. So I don't think you could send him a letter now with a new co-sponsor unless they send you a request for evidence. I don't think it's ever going to catch up to your file.
Right.
But I do
Right.
think you'll
I
have to be
see.
ready.
I see. Got it.
I do think you'll have to be ready to show about the co-sponsor next time at the actual interview.
Okay. Great.
All right, buddy. Good luck, Sean.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
See you, man. Yep. All right, let's go to Sam. Sam's up next. Sam, I think you're on mute.
Hi, can you hear me?
Ken, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm really happy to see you because I heard that you guys will have a streaming on Tuesday, and then I
Yeah.
randomly went on YouTube and I found you here. I was like, oh my God, let me try to get there.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I just had like a quick question. My husband and I, we applied for I-75 removal of condition, and I spoke to a tier agent 2 or something like that. I can't remember the name. And basically, I was surprised to find out that they said that there's a possibility that the background check wasn't done, and that's why it was taking so long. Even though back in July, it was said that my biometric were applied to my case. So I was like, wait, isn't what it was a lot of back and forth, you know? So I was like, I just gave up at the end. I was like, all right, okay, thank you for your answers. And but I didn't really understand what that meant.
When was the last time you were actually fingerprinted by USCIS?
Back in 2017, when we did the 2-year green card.
And who told you that your background check wasn't finished yet, or what?
Well, actually, I made a mistake. What happened is, like, I called USCIS. It was like a regular agent, and then I was told by somebody that when I called to ask for a tier 2 agent, but the tier 2 agent did not tell me that. That was the first agent, and tier 2 agent called me back after that. Didn't really answer my question about my background check being completed or not. But yeah, at the end, I didn't get an answer.
What city do you live in?
San Francisco.
You might try and just go over there with that letter and say, hey, there's been some confusion. I don't know if they've ever done my background check, and I haven't been fingerprinted in a long time, so I don't think you could be reusing my biometrics. So the officer confused me when I talked to them on the phone. Is there any way you could take my biometrics now and see about getting my case moving along? They might not let you in, but it's worth a shot. But it's better than
right now, it has been transferred to NBC because I hit 3 years. So we decided to apply to naturalization. And so I don't even know where my case is right now. Is it in San Francisco? Is it in I think it's Missouri? I don't know.
Yeah, the National Benefit Center in Lee Summit.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 2 different cases that are pending?
Yes. Yeah. But the agent that I spoke to, I guess it was a higher ranked agent, said they can't go ahead with the naturalization before educating the I-51.
751. Yeah. We've actually stopped filing naturalization until we get a decision on the 751, because as dumb as they are, they can't do both at the same time. So there might be a little bit of an element of confusion. So I might try to get another person on the phone and just say, hey, what's going on? Or you might just say, I'm going to wait and let things play themselves out and just not worry about it. I might wait just until like the end of January just to see if things start moving again. And then until then, I just wouldn't even worry about it.
And one last thing, I just noticed that once I applied to naturalization, like 2 weeks later, my I-751 moved and got transferred. And the agent told me, oh, sometimes we just do both at the same time. And,
yeah, I've seen lots of different things. I've shown up at what are called joint 751 and N400 interviews. I've seen them ready to do the 751, but not the N400. And I've seen them ready to do the N400, but not the 751. So you just got to sort of wait and see what's going on.
So just wait. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help for all immigrants. And it's really, really helpful. Thank you so much. You have a nice day.
Sam. Thanks a lot.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, let's go to Steve. Steve's been very patient. How are you doing, Steve?
Good, Jim. Fine. Glad to be on this call. Just want to reiterate what everybody else has been saying. You've been doing great for us, and it's a real service that's great. So thank you for that. Jim, just to kind of give you a little bit of a background, F4, sibling visa applied 2012. I guess with all the changes that are happening, I'm wondering, with the Biden administration, there's back dates of the visa dates. How long is it what's going to happen moving forward? I know historically F4 visas have taken around 10 to 13 years, depending on where you're born. What do you think is going to happen, just so we have a better understanding? What's the likelihood of the long wait?
So I'm gonna see. I haven't done this yet. I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. Okay, I haven't done that yet. So let me see what I can do. All right, let's see here. Oh, I lost you. Where's Steve? There's Steve. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna try to share my screen. I've been wanting to do this for a while, as far as showing people how the visa bulletin works. And I know you understand it, but I know that there's other people watching. So let me get the visa. Can you guys see my screen now or no?
Yes.
All right. So just so everybody knows, there's a backlog. Oh, here, I better zoom in. There's a backlog and there's a cap on the number of visas that are available. So when a U.S. citizen sponsors their brother or sister, that's in the F4 category. So every month, the visa bulletin comes out, and they show what cases that they are working on, right? So Steve's wondering, what country are we talking about, Steve?
Iran, but Canada, I guess. Well, Canada wouldn't fall under that, but Iran, I guess.
Just not India or China or Mexico. Okay. So like Steve said, this is the F4 category, brothers and sisters of adult U.S. citizens. So when the I-130 is filed for your brother, you receive a receipt notice. And on that receipt notice is a priority date, or the receipt date. That is your priority date. And so that's how we tell what cases that they're working on. So Steve said 2012. So what you have to do is you go to the category right here, the F4 category, and I don't know if you can see my mouse, but they're working on cases from September 15th, 2007. So there's still going to be a 5-year wait. Now, although there's tons of things I blame Trump for when it comes to immigration, this has nothing to do with Trump. This has to do with the fact that Congress hasn't increased the number of these visas that are available since 1990. So you'll see, like, even people from the Philippines, they're waiting on cases from 2002, and from Mexico, April 22nd, 1999. I mean, that's an absolute joke. So you have that brother or sister, whoever it is, has at least another 5 years to wait, Steve. Do I think that that will change over time? I don't know. It would take an actual act of Congress to change the way that that those numbers go. So they'd have to make more visas available. And the thing is, even Democrats talk about doing away with the brothers and sister visas. So if anything, I think those would go away, as opposed to getting. I don't think it's on anyone's radar to make the cases of brothers and sisters go faster. And there's going to be so many other things that Biden's going to have to focus on immigration-wise that I think this is going to be like a low priority. So as much as I hate to say it, I think they're going to keep on waiting.
I see. I see. And okay, yeah, I just figured that maybe it got slowed down during the previous administration, and it might get increased with the current with the issuance of visas. I don't know if they were actually fulfilling.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I think it will a little bit, just because right now the State Department and the embassies are completely gutted. They're not even handling marriage to U.S. citizen cases fast. So everything's slower. So I do think that'll that'll make some things go faster. But on a case, on brother and sister cases, even when I started doing immigration law, and even under Obama, it was a 12 or 13-year wait. So that number hasn't really changed. It's gotten about a year slower than it used to be. Over the last 10 years, it's been about that same.
I see. I'm in the San Diego region. I can't wait till when you guys officially open up your location here.
Yeah, January 1st. Send me an email and I'll send you the announcement. Shoot me an email, info@hackinglawpractice.com, and we'll put you on our California. We're making a special California list for when we open.
Yeah, I'll reach out because my brother's situation is pretty particular. I don't know if the TN visa still exists for Canadians wanting to come. If that does, maybe I'll definitely reach out to you and see if we can work something out.
It's still going.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate all your help.
Okay, bye,
Likewise.
buddy.
Bye.
Yep. There goes Steve. Let's go to Aslam. Aslam, are you with us? You've also been waiting. So in the room, I have Aslam, and then I have B and Nabil and Safwan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hi, Aslam. How are you?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm great. What's your question?
I'm great. Yes, sir. I have a question. Like, I apply asylum after 2 years, and I came here in a tourist visa, and I apply asylum when I get NTA. So I apply for defensive asylum, and now it's almost like 6 months already, and my clock haven't started. So I can get the work permit or not, and I'm the member of ASAP too.
What's ASAP? I don't know what ASAP is.
That's like asylum. Like if you see in the USCIS website, there's like there's two organizations, ASAP, and one is a COSIN, where if you are the member for that, so if your clock is not yet started, so still you are eligible to apply for work permit.
Yeah, I mean, everything with work permits right now is really up in the air because Trump tried to put in that new rule and it's been challenged in court and now he's leaving office. So I think, Aslam, my answer is going to be just sit tight for a couple months and wait till things settle down, and then we'll figure out where your clock stands.
Oh, I see. Okay, sir. Thank you so
good
much.
luck. Yep. All right, next up is B, and then we'll have Nabil after B. All right, B. Let's see. Hi, B.
Hi, I have some questions. So, I filed for the N400, but I was still married back in March, but now I'm no longer married. How does that work when it comes to the neutralization for the N400?
What's the start date on your green card?
Gosh, what is it? Hold on, let me check. Can you 1 second?
Yeah, sure. So B's asking, B got her green card through marriage, and B has applied under the 3-year rule, and B when she applied was married, but B is not married anymore. So if her green card is less than 5 years old, I think she's going to have to start over.
Okay, so can you hear me?
I can, B.
All right, so the start date, it says resident under resident since, right? It's December 28, 2016.
Okay, so are you already divorced?
Officially, yeah, it just went through November 14th, I think.
Okay, well, so one time one of the immigration officers at the St. Louis office, her name had changed, and I said, "Congratulations on getting married." She said, "No, I got divorced and now I have a different last name." And she said, "But you can congratulate me for that too." So I don't know if you're happy to be divorced or not, but the answer B is that you have to be married on the day you naturalize. So even if you've been approved, if you get approved for naturalization, but you get divorced before you naturalize, then your case is over. So that case is dead. That case is over. You have to wait the full 5 years and start over.
So even if they actually send me the appointment and I had my biometrics testing and all that, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
So shouldn't they know when they have my fingerprint that they see my marriage case that it's no longer valid?
No, you should send them, you should send them a letter with a copy of the divorce decree and say, I hereby request to withdraw my N-400. I got divorced and will have to wait the full 5 years to apply for citizenship.
So I do have to inform them. That's what you're saying.
It's much better if you do. It'll clean things up later on.
Okay.
You don't want this case to keep going because it can make it look like you're trying to sneak something past them, and you don't want that.
Exactly. That was my biggest concern, because I don't want to appear to be like I'm a fraud or trying to, run behind their back when I don't really know what the situation should be. So what about, so the fees and whatnot will be kind of like a waste then, or is that can reapply to when I reapply?
Fees gone.
Okay. Okay.
All right, B. Good luck.
Okay, so you're saying that, I'm sorry. So should I wait until I receive that letter for the appointment and then send them a copy of that divorce letter, or what do I need to do at this point to let them know? I haven't received the letter yet.
I'd send them a letter with a copy of your receipt notice and a copy of the divorce decree and say, here's my receipt notice. I got divorced. This case can't be approved. I wish to withdraw it. Thank you. And then make sure you keep proof that you sent it to them.
Okay, so that can it be done electronically, or it has to be through mail?
I would send it to the address on the receipt notice of your N-400.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Nabil is next. Nabil is next, and then Sufyan's after Nabil. Might not get to everybody today. Let's see. Nabil.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I just need your advice. I applied for N-400 on October 1 last year, and I got my interview scheduled on March 12th, 2020, and they descheduled it because of the pandemic. We all understand that. And they rescheduled it again on September 23rd, and they descheduled it after a day of that. I gave them a call, and they said like, there's a lot of people waiting. And for the fact, I have like a lot of people right behind me. They applied and they got their interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to know, what should I do? Should I call them again, or like what should I do?
What country are you from, Nabil?
I'm from Iraq.
And did you come on SIV?
No, I came with a student visa and I applied for asylum here, and I got approved, and everything went good.
That's great. So when you in September, when they rescheduled it, did you get a letter? Was it like you got a letter on Tuesday saying, hey, your interview's on whenever, and then on Wednesday you got a letter that said, due to unforeseen circumstances, we have to cancel your interview?
I got the two letters at the same day.
Same day. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, this doesn't surprise me. So I've handled a lot of cases from Iraq, and I think that they're they're delaying your case because they don't like it when people get their green cards based on asylum. You got asylum back under Obama, and Trump thinks that they gave out asylum like candy. And so I've had probably 20 Iraqi men, either SIV or asylum, get their green cards and then have a really hard time getting naturalized. So you might want to wait a few more months and see if they schedule it. But then after that, you might need to hire us to sue them to make them do your interview and decide your case.
Okay, I'm one of the your followers, and I'll let you know. I'm gonna wait. Other than that, because the email that I got, it's like between 60 days to 90 days. That's what they said on the email.
Well, I don't believe the email, but I would say wait until like February or March and then call us and let us know if you need our help.
I'll let you know. And thank you so much for advice.
All right, Nabil. Stay safe, buddy.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Sufyan is up. Let's see. And then Arnie's after Sufyan. Probably going to have time for just a few more.
All right, let's go.
All right, Sufyan, what do you got for me?
Hello there, Mr. Jim. How you doing?
I'm great.
Yeah, hi. Okay, so we are married. She's a U.S. citizen, I'm not gonna like take your time that much. So we are married. We got married in February. We applied on June. From June till now, the only thing they gave us from USCIS was receiving letter and a request for evidence, which was for like supporting like affidavit of support.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was it. After
Wait, hold on. Did you say you got a receipt notice and then you got a request for evidence?
yes, which we provided. They wanted to like ensure that like somebody's taking care of me like financially, which is
Co-sponsor.
she is. Yeah, co-sponsor. Like she's the sponsor basically. So
Yep.
we did that. Afterwards, from then to now, we haven't received anything like fingerprint date, biometrics, nothing regarding that. And I cannot work because I don't have any work permit and all of those stuff. That's a question. How long that might take? Another one is that the evidence. We actually live together. We are like a usual couple, but I cannot provide a lot of evidence like a joint account, which if you want to open account, you need like SS and all of those things. And like even in utility bills, I can't put my name because they need SS. So this kind of things. And me being a Muslim, do you think that is an issue? And we are from different countries. Like her nationality is different. My nationality, I mean, she belongs from a different country. I belong from a different country, but we both share the same religion. I'm older than her, and we are very young, to be honest.
Sufyan, I think your case needs a lot of help, my brother. I think you probably didn't do the affidavit of support right. I think your case is going to be delayed. I think you're going to get another request for evidence for more. Did you submit the tax returns for 3 years and the W-2 of the co-sponsor and fill out the form correctly?
About that, she started working end of the last year for the first time on November, I believe. And we were able to provide only the pay stuff, and she makes a lot more than the limit on the USCIS page, which is above 30K.
Okay, I don't mean to cut you off, and you're not doing your case right.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're not doing your case right. Your case isn't even on track to get you your biometrics because it's been delayed by the co-sponsor issue. So in the old days, you do the co-sponsor issue at your interview. Now they're doing it right at the start because they're trying to slow you down. So whether you hire me or someone else, your case is sort of messy, and you're going to need a lot of help if you want to stay here. And I say this as someone who converted to Islam 23 years ago. The hardest thing to do is get an immigration benefit for a Muslim man. So if you don't get your act together, they're going to come after you full bore and try to deny your case.
Okay. There was a last question. Another question I would like to ask you.
One more, real quick. I'm running out of time.
All right. So we live. The address we provided on USCIS. The mailing address is same. It's a private house, like 3-family house. We used to live on the upper. Now we live in the rear. So I talked with some other lawyers. I just wanted an opinion that do I have to change on the USCIS address field that, okay, I'm living in the rear, because the mailing address, everything is same.
I don't think that's important. I think you're fine.
Okay. But the main thing I should be concerned about is the sponsor.
And the case overall. If you don't have a lot of marital evidence, you need to start working on making marital evidence.
Marital evidence. And if, let's say, they ask for another request for evidence of like support, can we just provide her this year's, which next in January, this year's tax return? Will that help?
You need 3 years, brother. 3 years.
3 years. That's
so you have a lot of work to do. I'm going to let you go, you guys. Good luck.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. See ya.
Bye.
All right. Let's go to Arnie. You guys. Good luck.
Hi. Hopefully you hear me.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
I hear you just fine, Arnie.
Thank you for taking my call. Me and my wife are here on the green card. We applied for the N400.
Can you turn down the volume on your...
Taking my call. Me and my wife are here on the green card. Am I on the line? Me and my wife applied for the N400 and my wife have an interview next Wednesday, but nothing have happened on my case. I was thinking, is it normal? Is it maybe because I've been traveling a lot for my company to Russia, China, and Brazil? That was just the only question. Is this normal?
That question is a great question, Arnie. Thanks for asking. Wives' cases always go faster than husbands' cases. Always. I mean, if they don't go together, which they sometimes do, the wife case always goes faster than the husband's case. Okay. Now, you mentioned travel to Russia. That's the kind of thing that will also slow down your case. Okay. So, your case, I wouldn't be too worried about it. When did you and your wife apply?
Also slow down. We applied in August, so there's not time to do anything. I was just wondering.
Worried about it. You're fine, brother. When did you and your wife? Good luck, Arnie. We'll see you later, bud. All right. Let's go over to Tiana, and then we're going to Fatmada. All right. Hi, Tiana. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good.
So I'm an F1 student and I will be falling out of status in the new year, and I'm getting married in December. So I'm just trying to figure out, I haven't filed my work authorization. And so I know with that new I-944 form, I have to prove that I'm self-sufficient. So I'm just wondering, if I'm unable to work because I haven't filed the work authorization form, how can I prove?
So are you still in school? Are you in OPT, or what are you doing?
School right now, but I will be switching to online school rather than residential.
Okay, so you're on an F1. You're getting married in December.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to apply for anything until you get married, and then you're going to apply for a green. The person you're marrying is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder.
Correct, a U.S. citizen.
And so then you're going to apply for the green card, and you're going to apply for a temporary work card in January.
Yes.
And the question is, what about the I-944?
Yeah, how am I going to be able to prove that I'm self-sufficient if I can't work because I haven't gotten that work authorization?
Well, I think the I-944 is going to die a death here pretty soon, and probably before you file. So if I were you, I would be just careful. And I don't want to tell you I don't want to tell you to let yourself fall out of status, but you need to pay real close attention to the status of the I-944.
Okay.
And either if a judge strikes it down or if Biden strikes it down, then apply then, so you don't even have to mess with it.
Okay, yeah, I think my visa is signed until February.
You mean your I-20 is signed?
Yeah, sorry, my I-20.
And then you're going to go to school. Are you going to school whether or not you get married or not, or only because if you don't get your marriage?
I was going to switch to online because of getting married, and so just like switching programs and stuff, it just was easier.
Well, here's what I would say. I'd like people to stay in status if they can. So if there's any way that you can extend your I-20 at your current school or go to another school that's not online so you can maintain your F1 status, at least until you get the case on file, that'll help you for two reasons. One is you won't fall out of status. And two, when you go to your interview, you won't have been out of status, which means they won't give you more trouble.
Okay. Okay,
right.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your help.
Congratulations on getting married.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. All right. Hi, Camilla.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for your good work.
You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. What can I help you with?
Yeah, I want to know, my husband, I was in immigration court. I applied for asylum, but unfortunately, when I went for the interview, they referred me to immigration court. So after that, when I go to court, the first day that I went to court, me and my husband got married before that. So we canceled the asylum case my husband filed for me, which they canceled the case already in the court. Because when I go to court, I tell them I'm married already and everything. I present the picture and everything to them, so they cancel. So they still hold on the case. When we filed the I-130,
did they terminate it or did they administratively close it? Which?
They terminate the case.
They terminated the case. You're sure it says order of termination?
Yes.
Well, that's nice. You got a nice judge. That's good. Okay. All right. So
Mhm.
then you filed, and did you
So
get married? Sorry to interrupt you again. Did you get married before you applied? I'm sorry, before you received the notice to appear in court, or after?
no, after.
Okay. All right. So now your I-130 is pending. Do you have an interview coming up or anything?
No, my husband filed the I-130. We went for the interview. They approved the I-130 before we go to court. So when we go to court, we show the receipt. But yes,
So that makes sense. Why?
then they approve me and my kids because my husband filed for me and my 3 kids, but they're in Africa in Sierra Leone presently as I'm talking. So I'm here. Then February we filed the I-485, but it's taking forever. So I just want to know how long it takes for them to kind of like we have interview date. Then my husband wants for me to apply for travel documents so we can go to Sierra Leone.
Well, you can't go to Sierra Leone. You applied for asylum. You don't want to go to Sierra Leone anytime soon. Even though you withdrew the case, you don't want to go there now. Because you swore to them if you go back to Sierra Leone that bad things are going to happen to you. If you then go back, even though you're on a green card path with your husband, that's going to come back and haunt you when you apply for citizenship. So if someone has to go back and get your kids, it should be your husband, not you.
Okay. So then do I need the travel document to go?
But you shouldn't go there.
Yes, but I need a travel document to travel out of the country.
When you applied for the 45, hopefully you filed for an I-131 and an I-765. Yeah, you want both of those things.
No,
Yeah.
I only applied the I-485 there with the work authorization, which I have the work authorization already. They mailed it in August 8th, but I did not apply for the travel document. Now my husband is trying to apply for the travel document. But what I read online tells me that will slow down my case. One day I was in immigration court. That will bring an issue when I want to come back in. That's what I read online.
There's lots of reasons why you shouldn't leave the country. That's one of them. Yeah, for sure. And it's also going to make your green card case go slower. You've had lots of things, lots of moving parts. You've had an asylum case. You've been to immigration court. You filed an I-130 without a 45. So you're trying to get all these things to collect and gather up. But so far, it seems like you've done a pretty good job of things.
Okay. So that's why I tell him. So that's why I tell him.
Oh, I think we lost Fatmata.
Well, the thing is, what I want, I think I just don't want to go with him. So
yeah, tell him that Jim said that you shouldn't go.
What?
Tell him that I said you shouldn't go.
Okay, so even though he applies, so that's what I'm just gonna do. But
all right, good luck, Famata. All right, I got time for 1 or 2 more. I'm gonna go to Asia.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
Okay. I have a question about affidavit of support. My brother's cases are currently at NVC, and I am unemployed. And to be honest with you, last couple of years I have not been working, and currently I am collecting unemployment under Pandemic Act. So my first question is, can I put unemployment as an income on an affidavit of support?
No.
Okay. Then my brother is a family of 6. So they said you can use assets. So I have a condo that's fully paid off and which is not my primary residence. And between the value of the condo and my bank accounts, I have assets to show enough for 6 people, which is 250K. Can I get that approved just based upon an assets only?
No.
Okay. I was able to find a joint sponsor. She makes 150K. However, when she does the joint return with her husband who owns a business, her income, total income, gross income after taxes, then comes down to 150 to 19K. Now, does NVC looks at current income, which is 150K? She's a scientist, but so I'm just concerned now, can I use her as a joint sponsor?
That's an interesting question, which I haven't had asked before. But if she has 3 years of earning over $100,000 or $150,000, I think it should be fine. They won't look at the family as a whole. As long as they don't live with you, they'll just look at her as a standalone person, and I think she can be the co-sponsor.
She could be the co-sponsor. I mean, it has been a very difficult process for me. I have been struggling with it for past 5 months, trying to find a joint sponsor. But to be honest with you, I have been consulting with different people, and I'm getting so many different answers, which is constantly getting me very confused. So you are saying, I mean, her current income is, she had a raise and she's making 150K. She's a family of 3. My brother is a family of 6. Her current income is more than enough. So I'm just concerned, does NVC only look at previous years, 2019, 18, and 17, where her total income is below what they're asking for? Or, they would look at current income. So you are saying that she could help me sign a joint sponsor.
Well, what I'm saying is take the husband out of it.
Okay.
If she herself made enough for the last 3 years,
right,
you should be fine.
I should be fine.
It's certainly worth a shot of starting with her, given the difficulties that you've had trying to find somebody.
Okay. And then and I apologize. My last question is, then I was able to find another person. She agreed to sign. She's currently making, this year she had a raise, and she's making before taxes 62,000, and she's filing single. So now I have to decide, if she's filing single and she's making 62,000 alone, and my brother is a family of 6. So I just have to choose between the two. What do you think should I do? Because this person who I found, she's filing single. Last year, after taxes 2019, she made 39,000, and before taxes she made 50,000. And in 2018, she barely made 19,000, and she didn't file for 2017. So my other question is, does NVC necessarily look at the 3 years tax returns for the joint sponsor, or only 2019 and current income matters?
They look at all 3 years. So don't go with that second person. Go with the other person.
Go with the other person. Okay. So that clarifies a lot of things for me. So you are saying take the husband out. So based upon her income alone, she's making more than enough. And I mean, I'm just afraid if they deny it or something, or RFE. I'm not very familiar with the process. But since at
the stage you're at, they won't deny for that. They'll just tell you need another co-sponsor.
They would just need, yeah. I mean, but that still means like delaying the case. My brother case.
But is the visa even current?
So the case is currently at NVC. Their priority date was 2006, and my brothers are in Pakistan. And in January of 2019, I received email for 4 of my brothers who had filed. I had filed 4, and they said start submitting the further evidence. However, it took my brother 1.5 years to get his date of birth corrected in Pakistani code, because that was not right. So now finally that's done, and because of the COVID delays, now I'm at a process for him where I want to file his affidavit of support. And what I was told, that these cases stay current for the next 10 years. I have to make them current. However way, if I call NVC and tell them please keep the cases open, or log in online, is that correct too?
Yeah. So I wouldn't call them. I would email them so that you have proof of documentation. Okay. Asia, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get to my one last caller. Okay. Have a good luck with everything.
I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Last caller. Sorry, I can't get to everybody. Is going to be BD. BD.
Hi. How are you, Jim?
I'm great. What can I help you with?
Yes, I missed the question last time. I think you remember me. So I'm in process of citizenship. So my file is in MVC. So what will happen? The file was within green card, and now my statute maybe will be changed. So
I don't understand. What are you applying for?
I applied for for I-130. So my case is at NVC, and in this process, I think it will take like 9 months or something like that, or 7 months. And in these months, I will my statute will change to citizenship.
Got it.
So yeah.
So you're a green card holder. You sponsored your spouse who's overseas. The case is at the National Visa Center.
Yes.
You have an N400 on file.
Yes.
And you're waiting for that to be decided.
Mhm.
Yeah, just keep going. When did the case get to the National Visa Center?
Not yet. I'm planning to do it in March. Maybe I will get a citizenship before.
No, but on your visa case, you said it's at the National Visa Center, right?
Yes.
And what country is your spouse in?
Is in Algeria.
Algeria. Okay. Yeah. So once you get your citizenship, then you notify the National Visa Center that you're a citizen, and then they'll treat your case a little bit better.
So do I have to pay again, or just make it
over? No. They'll convert the case over. So keep working on your wife's case. Keep working on your case, and eventually it'll catch up. They'll just change your status from green card holder sponsor to citizen sponsor.
No, my question, if I get the citizenship before I start with FVC, so what will happen?
It won't do anything. They'll just change your processing priority, but you won't have to pay anything twice.
Okay, so I let them know I changed my statute.
Yep, you send them a copy of your naturalization certificate. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you,
Right.
Mr. J.
All right, with
Have a
that,
good day.
everybody, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. BD, thanks for being with us. Everybody
You are
else.
welcome.
Yep.
Take care.
Okay, bye, buddy. Sorry I couldn't get to everybody, but we'll be on Tuesday at noon Central, right here on Facebook and on YouTube. Until then, have a good weekend, everybody. And if you have any questions, you can email us at info@hackinglawpractice.com, or you can call us at 314-961-8200. Thanks a lot.